Clash of the Titans! Brawl of the Behemoths! But really, for all this rallying, they'll never actually fight each other, so maybe this whole versus title never made sense. Welcome back to Versus, where we'll be comparing two legendary units who aren't even the main character from their original game. On one side, we've got Tifa, and on the other, we've got Sephiroth. So let's put them side by side. Tifa is a physical damage dealer, while Sephiroth is also a physical damage dealer. So that's one similarity down, let's keep going. Following their similar rows, we've also got similar chains, Stardust Ray. They've also got similar levels of self-buffs, with similar playstyles, buff and kill. Yeah, they literally have the same two offensive playstyles. Their buffs have the same amounts, their MP costs are the same amounts, their limit bursts cost the same amount. And that's where their similarities end. So let's talk about their differences. Most blatant, elemental damage. Tifa splashes with water, while Sephiroth delves in dark. Tifa also has an active ability that can restore a portion of her HP and MP, while Sephiroth doesn't. Their equipment also play a big role. Tifa will use a fist, while Sephiroth will hold a katana. And while Sephiroth doesn't have to hold a katana, come on, that's not going to happen. Beyond weapons, they also have differences in innate passives, which play into reaching their stat cap, killer cap, and limit burst damage cap. Yet even so, a dedicated player will manage to hit that stat cap with certain equipment as they'd sooner die before accepting an imperfect build. But there's one critical difference that the game's never told you about, and that is their weapon. Now we already mentioned that, but we haven't really talked about weapon variants. Simply put, the possibility of raising their damage by a scaled amount within a certain range. Sephiroth's big boy two-handed katana has a damage variance that surpasses Tifa's by 50% or so, meaning if you're crazy enough to run dark visions multiple times to get more damage, Sephiroth's damage output will exceed Tifa's if you manage to hit a high number in that range. Furthermore, their main tools, their Brave Shift's limit burst, operate differently. Sephiroth caps, while Tifa chains, and you all know their advantages with the damage cap. Tifa's limit burst will chain with a copy, but since that isn't possible in events like Dark Visions, you have to create a seamless chain yourself if you want her numbers to soar even higher. I believe she can accomplish one with a triple bolting strike chain or something, but as I don't play on the Japanese server, I can't confirm this. Sephiroth's one-hit limit burst is easier to use, and while it may not have as much potential, it still beat out an imperfect limit burst chain. Finally, there's one more unmistakable difference. Sephiroth is a guy, while Tifa is a girl. So who's better? With damage variance and random number generators coming into play, it tends to be Sephiroth. It's also easier to use him, as capping a chain is far less trouble than weaving one together, but I bet the best among you won't let that hinder you. However, Tifa's Super Trustmaster reward, accessory, has also been buffed, just like such a descendant Aerith's. Now, if you somehow manage to get 2 copies of it, you can equip both of them to get a doubled increase in attack. This goes a long way in raising Tifa's potential, especially if you use her perfectly. But you have to wonder, will Sephiroth's Super Trustmaster reward also be buffed? Unfortunately, his Super Trustmaster reward is his clothes, so unless they double its attack, it doesn't really matter, as no unit can equip more than one set of armor anyways. There is one more factor you might want to keep in mind, Perseverance. Both have a devastating self-buff, but it's ultimately on a one-time Grandis ability. After that, their damage drops off by considerable degrees. Relatively speaking, of course. This won't matter if the enemy's dead, but the fact lingers nonetheless. But this is where friends come into play. Or rather, teammates. For instance, Tifa's covered with water support. Lord of the Seas Nico is our current champion, and is currently available at a boosted rate for a limited time that's going to end soon. Hopefully you're not just watching this after that period ends. Sephiroth, however, does not have any friends that can come close to his level. That's not to say dark support doesn't exist, but it's just not as close. Still, if a premier dark supporter ever makes their appearance, you can be certain that Sephiroth's popularity will skyrocket. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. Comment below if you plan to get one of them, or if you have enough Lapis to get both of them. Getting one of them will let you soar to new heights in relevant stages, high enough that lets you take the plunge. 60,000 plus Lapis is a very steep price.